and welcome back. This is Komal Praveen and you are watching Ace the Case. This is part 2 and in this video we're going to cover section 437, that is when bail may be taken in case of non-bailable offence. Section 437 deals with the powers of the trial court and the magistrate to whom the offender is produced by the police or the accused surrenders or appears to grant or refuse bail to a person accused of or suspected of the commission of any non-bailable offence. Subsection 1. Since the power to grant bail is permissive and not obligatory, it has to be exercised with great caution because of the risk and safety involved. If any person is suspected of any non-bailable offence, is arrested or detained without warrant by an officer, he is then brought before the court other than High Court or Court of Session. He may be released on bail, but there are certain exceptions in section 437 in which bail cannot be granted to the accused. These exceptions are if any person is found guilty of an offence punishable with death or imprisonment of life, or the person has committed any cognizable offence and has been previously convicted of an offence punishable with death or punishment of life or punishment of 7 or more years, or has previously convicted 2 or more cognizable offences, shall not be released on bail. There are few discretions imposed by the court. The court directed if such any person referred under clause 1 or clause 2 can be released on bail if such person is under the age of 16 years or is a woman or infirm, sick or under other special reasons. So a case is given in which Surinder Singh Singara Singh versus State of Punjab 2005, it was held that it would be impossible to lay down any straight jacket formula. The court must exercise its discretions having regard to all the relevant facts and circumstances. Subsection 2. If at any stage it appears to the court or the officer that the person has not committed a non-bailable offence on reasonable grounds and there are sufficient grounds for further inquiry, the accused shall be released on bail till such inquiry is pending. Subject to the provisions of section 446A, such release by the court or the officer can be given on a bond of persons without sureties. Subsection 4 is related to subsection 1 and 2, which means that if court or any officer in charge is releasing any person on bail under subsection 1 or subsection 2, should also give in writing for its reasons for granting bail in non-bailable offence. Subsection 3. Certain conditions are imposed by the court while granting bail. If any person is found suspected of an offence punishable with imprisonment of more than 7 years or under Chapter 6, Chapter 16 or Chapter 17 of IPC, or abetment, conspiracy or attempt to commit any offence, then the court imposes few conditions on them: that they should attend the court, should not commit a similar offence, should not direct or indirect make any inducement, promise or threat to any person related with the facts of this case. Other condition may also be imposed by the court in interest of justice. Subsection 5, which relates to the cancellation of bail, it states that if any court which has released a person on bail under subsection 1 or subsection 2 of the section 437 may, if it considers necessary to do so, direct such person to be re-arrested and commit him under custody. It must also be noted that the court which has given the bail may only cancel it. Under this subsection, no other court can do so. Similar is the section 439, subsection 2, that confers on the High Court and Court of Session powers to cancel the bail. This section is also related to the cancellation of bail, which we'll cover in part 3. So there is a case law which is Surendra Singh versus State of Bihar. Patna High Court laid certain grounds on which bail may be cancelled. Where the accused is found to be tampering with the evidence either during the investigation or trial, where the accused commits a similar offence or some other erroneous offence, where the accused absconds and the trial gets delayed due to such act, where the offence committed by the accused has caused severe law and other problems in the society, where the High Court finds the lower court has wrongly granted the bail, where the accused misuses the privilege of bail, where the life of the person accused is in danger itself. Subsection 6. It mandates that in case of non-bailable offence which is being tried by the magistrate, where the trial has not concluded within a period of 60 days from the first date fixed for taking evidence in the case, and the accused has remained in custody during the whole of the said period, he becomes entitled to be released on bail. He should be then released on bail if he has been in custody during the 60 days from the first day of taking evidence, though the magistrate can decline the benefits of aforesaid provisions by recording reasons in writing. In a case, Dilu versus State of Madhya Pradesh observed that on a plain reading of the provisions of section 437 subsection 6 of CRPC, it is graphically clear that it is mandatory in the sense that a person should not be kept in jail ordinarily if trial for non-bailable offence which is tried by the magistrate is not concluded within a period of 60 days from the date fixed for evidence. Subsection 7. A person can be granted bail in case of non-bailable offence after the trial but before judgment, if the court finds reasonable grounds showing the innocency of the person, then the court should release the person from the custody only on the execution of bond for his appearance to hear the delivered judgment. Section 437A. Bail. To require accused to appear before the next appellant court. The person accused of an offence is freed from a criminal charge by the court or the appellant court with the verdict not guilty. The person so freed shall execute a personal bond for the appearance before the High Court. It shall remain in force for the period of 180 days from the date of judgment. If such person fails to appear, the personal bond stands lost as a penalty and the procedure under section 446 shall apply. With this I end up my video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment if you are new to my channel. Soon I will be uploading part 3. Stay tuned. Till then, bye bye.